always like to mention that James Meredith and Oprah Winfrey are Kosciuszko's most famous citizens. But one of the other things that's really interesting to me about both of them, two things. One is they both attended Buffalo Church. It's a little small church. It's still small, even though she had it rebuilt. But when she was a little girl, she used to ride a wagon to this church. And when my uncle and his siblings were growing up, they rode a wagon to church too, to the same church, even though they went to all of the churches. You know, the church was the center of the community in their time. Everything happened at the church. In fact, a lot of the churches was where school was held. And all of the activities took place from the church. The other thing that's interesting to me about Miss Winfrey and James Meredith is the fact that they both own the farmland that they grew up on. Miss Winfrey owns the land that she was raised by her grandparents, who were the Lees, and her father, Winfrey, Mr. Winfrey, and my uncle, they were classmates. They went to school together. And my uncle, he bought the 84 acres of farmland that his father bought and raised them on. And that was, I've said that before, but it was interesting to me that my uncle didn't give his land to any of his 10 children. At the time when my uncle bought the land from his father, Cap Meredith, he was around 20 or so. And he was in the military, so he started making payments on the farm, because one of the things that my grandfather realized was that he had this farm and all of his children were leaving. They were part of the Great Migration because nobody wanted to stay in Mississippi. Everybody, his children, my grandfather was born in 1891. And so his first child was born in 1916. And he left 1940. And him being the oldest, the rest of them just started they followed him. First he went to St. Petersburg, Florida. And then his sister went to St. Petersburg, Florida. And then he went to Detroit, Michigan. And 2 other children went also to Detroit, Michigan. And then we have my grandfather's second oldest son, who was born in 1917. He joined the military. I think 1940 was called the Army Corps then. And then, of course, the next person who joined the military was James Meredith. But when he joined, he had just changed his name to James Meredith because he was born with the initials J.H. And that's when he enlisted in the military. And he had to, he went to high school. His last year in high school, he went to Gibbs High School in St. Petersburg, Florida. While he was in high school, there was an incident that happened. He entered an essay, a writing contest, and his English teacher wanted all of the students to write about why they were proud to be an American. Well, of course, this was the Jim Crow South, and there were a lot of injustice towards black people during this era. So my uncle decided to write about the America that he envisioned it becoming. And his school teacher was quite uncomfortable with him talking about change, because a lot of people who had paid positions,